It is currently the 17th of September 2014, making this update right around 07 Universal Time here on your Wednesday. And what we have been seeing out here in the Western Pacific is two areas that are definitely the main topics of today. First and foremost, Kalmiki, and also what we have been seeing is Invest 96W, actually a tropical depression now just north of Palau. This is going to be the next main topic as far as the forecast goes. But before I get into it, I do want to talk about Kalmiki here because that storm system definitely has brought some problems here for southern portions of China. 350,000 people have been told to evacuate. Actually, in Hainan on Tuesday, about 1,700 people needed to be rescued because of these very serious winds. And also, we've seen a slight storm surge right along the immediate coastal areas as winds gusted up to about 160 to 170 kilometers per hour. Now it's bringing heavy rainfall and these gusty winds farther inland there into, well, northern portions of Vietnam, northern Laos, and also towards southwestern portions of China. The center of circulation well inland, so the storm system is going to continue to weaken out as we look ahead over the next several days. But the big problem with Kalmiki here is the fact that it's still enhancing that monsoonal flow coming in out of the Bay of Bengal, actually way off there towards the west. And you can actually see this on the Met-Sat analysis, or surface analysis that is. We have those several areas of low pressure scattered across the Indochina Peninsula and into the Bay of Bengal. But the key thing is you have this general cyclonic circulation around this. And what we're seeing is those winds being dragged in from the west. So lots of rain actually expected out here, not only for Vietnam and Laos, but also even down there towards Thailand and parts of Myanmar because of that enhanced flow coming in around the southern periphery of this storm. So as far as this typhoon goes, well, it's now a tropical storm, continuing the downgrade and definitely going to be weakening out as we look ahead over the next, well, 24 hours here. But the forecast still is calling for a lot of rainfall there into the Indochina Peninsula. The other thing I do want to talk about here is the fact that there has been no casualties reported from this storm system. Yes, now we're starting to see it weaken out, and good news, it is going to continue to do that. But the death toll has remained actually at 0 for those in Vietnam. There has been no reports as of making this update of any casualties in the southern China. Hainan, we were talking about the evacuations and the people being rescued, but no casualties reported there. The only ones we actually seen was down here towards southern Leyte, where we had that ferry capsize back on Saturday, indirectly associated with the typhoon. But as far as on Luzon, on land areas, no casualties were reported. Even despite what we actually seen there in Hong Kong. Take a look at this video. This was coming from videographer James Reynolds. He lives there in Hong Kong, and he went out to the bay just to capture some of these waves. Last thing I think he thought he was going to be seeing is somebody actually out there swimming. This person did not fall off of a boat. They just decided to go for a dip in the water. Just some incredible footage there. Click the annotation if you want to see the whole thing. Now, what we are seeing, though, is our storm system continuing to weaken out. But as I scrolled over here towards the east, you probably noticed we have this big circulation just towards the east of the Philippines. That is our Invest 96W. That is the next low pressure area everybody's been talking about. Even Bagasa went as far as a few days ago to say this was going to take the exact same track as what we've seen with Kalmiki or Luis here. As far as models go, this is the far western outlier. This one right here with the ECMWF. And as you can see here, we scroll through this, and you see on the top of the screen, Friday and the Saturday, it actually stays offshore of Luzon. So right now, most outlooks are not indicating a landfall. What they are indicating is some rain showers across the Philippines because this storm system is going to track here towards the east, and it's going to pull that moisture from the west, just very much like what we just talked about Kalmiki a second ago. In the long range, though, this is what I want to show you, because if you're off here into the southern Japanese islands, this could be a storm system that could be impacting those of you here. You can see what our ECMWF model, well, by Saturday and the Sunday, this starts to recurve, starts to bring some nasty weather out there for you. I want to show you another outlook. This is from the NavGem, and this shows the storm system intensifying, but it recurves a little bit farther towards the east, along with an upper level trough. And I'll show you the upper level analysis here in a second. That's from the NavGem, and we want to see more than just one or two models. We'll compare this up with the GFS as well. This one typically good with long range forecasting, and it shows a tropical storm, or at least a severe tropical storm, also impacting those of you across the southern Japanese islands. Key thing to note is that given this current track with all of these models, and let's say they are correct in that this storm system is going to go along this track just towards the east of Okinawa, you always have to remember if you're on the northern periphery of these storm systems, that's well, it's still pretty rough, but it's much better than being down here towards the south. So as far as this storm is going right now, if it does recurve with that upper level flow, which you can see right here as we go ahead by Friday and the Sunday, that upper level trough shifting down here towards the south, breaking down the Westpac high, and that's what allows our storm system to flow off here towards the north. So for those of you in the Philippines, you're wondering why is this not taking the same track? A lot of stuff goes into this. It's not just the forward momentum of the storm, it's not just the Westpac high, but it's also how much those troughs dig in. And right now it looks like we're gonna have a pretty decent one, which is gonna bring some foul weather across much of Japan later on this week as well. That's going to be digging in and pulling the storm off there towards the north. Even on the satellite imagery, you can see where that migratory low is off here towards the northwest. Right now they're in the central China, but then eventually that's going to move its way off there towards the east, supported by that trough, which will be breaking down that high pressure ridge. For now though, it's all about timing. It's all about how fast this storm develops. It does have a lot of moisture with it, and even if it does stay off here towards the east of the Philippines, we're still going to be seeing a lot of rainfall. So this is one we're definitely going to be watching. If you are out here in northern Luzon, I wouldn't rule out a landfall at this time, but I think it's unlikely. And if you're out there in the southern Japanese islands, definitely keep an eye on this. But basically everybody inside that cone of air I just made, that's basically where I'm expecting this storm system to go. Somewhere in there, if you're needing to know some sort of cone. Right now, though, the Japan Meteorological Agency has a minor tropical depression. The United States military has a tropical cyclone formation alert out on this, so this doesn't give you anything more than a 24-hour forecast. As far as official agencies, Bagasis still hasn't warned on it, so we're just going to continue to monitor this tropical depression, which we know is going to be going in a northwesterly direction according to official agencies over the next 24 to 48 hours. But that is all for right now, everybody. Actually, I'm at that last changeover. I did just find out Guam was just hit with a 7.1 magnitude earthquake off here towards the east. I know you got some rain showers going on right now, so threat of landslides is possibly there. No threat of tsunami at this time from what we have seen, so that's just a little breaking news I'm tossing in on the end of this 7-minute long update, so you may have not seen it. But yeah, just had it really in the middle of making this update. Stay safe out there, everybody.